Do you see this right here? That's not just old age. That's not sleeping in a good pattern. This is a night lamp. Headlamp, not a night lamp. It's snowing up here. 25 degrees at 10:30. Why the headlamp? Because this is the mountains and there's birds up here. So this is the real me. I'd like to start off better than this. I like to be better than this. That's exactly why the quest. That's why I start on this journey. I want to be better for my wife. I want to be better for God. I want to be better for my children, better for the people that I work for, better for my friends, everybody in general. I want to start off with this. You've seen a couple of videos now. We haven't really gotten into the details and the nitty-gritty of this until now. But I want you to understand that I see my failures, and there is a strength in that. Not because I'm great. It's taken me a long time just to get here, just to be comfortable to stand in front of whomever is watching this and say that I have a lot of failures, a lot of things I want to get better at. But that doesn't mean I'm devaluing myself. That doesn't mean that I'm personally a failure. I can give you accomplishments. I can talk about progress that I've made and all types of those things. And I'm valuable as a human being, not because of what I do, but because of who I am, because of my belief system in God Himself gives me that essential value just by being here, just by being created and being made. So don't misunderstand. It's not a bash fest about what all is wrong with me. There's a healthy balance in all this, and I'm going to try to strike that as we go along. But this is still a quest to get better, and in order to do that, I've got to admit, I've got to stop looking at all the external factors, and I've got to look within and see where I can improve. Hopefully you'll come along as well. Hopefully you'll be moved by this and you'll want to make some changes too. I don't know exactly all the directions I'm going in. I want to reach out to people. I want to reach out to people who are in business, who are good at time management, who have maybe even products that can help me with time management. See if we can partner to some degree and get together on this to help me improve in this area. I don't have time. I don't necessarily have time though to just work on time management. There are other factors that I'll be bringing up in upcoming videos to work on these things all together. So we're going to start with time management. I'll tell you what I'm doing right now is I'm sort of spitting this stuff out. I said planning is not my strong point. Now, when I go speak to a group of people, I plan what I'm going to say. I've gotten fairly good at it now. I used to have 3 or 4 pages of notes, and that would barely carry me, 15 to 20 minutes. Now I have to have small outlines with just a few words on it, because if I had those 3 to 4 pages, I would go for an hour and a half, probably an hour, each page, whatever. But now I've gotten a lot better at it. Well, that hasn't translated yet to these videos, even though this is only the 4th one and really the first one where I'm talking about details. I've already figured out I can't just stand up here and wing it. I can't just stand or do these videos in different places and say, I'm just going to talk. That doesn't work, man. I've got to, as you're seeing, and this is going to be discombobulated. I'm still going to spit this out. I'm already proving to you I lack in planning. It's kind of like a buddy of mine, I ain't saying no names, that wanted to do a lesson about procrastination, and he was the lesson because he procrastinated and never wrote a lesson, and he got up and babbled for 10 minutes in front of 100+ people, and well, I'm kind of doing that same thing now, but I'm proving to you, not even on purpose, but I'm proving to you that it's better to have some plans. So for the next video, I'm setting that goal. I'm going to have, I don't know how I'm going to break it down, 3 or 4 points and let you be able to follow, make some introductory remarks and some conclusive remarks, and hopefully organize this a little bit better. And I do appreciate your patience. Let me explain something else while we're at it. you do, let me put it on me. I do what I want to do. So as far as time goes, I can tell you that I don't have time for this, or I have to do this, or I can't do that. Folks, we got to get that out of our vocabulary. I don't have to do anything necessarily. I can do and choose to do. See, I got to take responsibility for my choices. It's not that I'm busy. It's not that I had 4 kids. We had 4 kids at a young age. It's not that I work an hour from home. It's not that I work a couple of jobs. Those are all choices, and all those can change at a moment's notice if I decide to change them. So let's get that straight to begin with. The first thing I'm going to have to do in order to get this time management under control, in order to even sleep properly, to not be so overwhelmed, is to say that I control. I make the decisions. Let me say it again. I do what I want to do. I've got the same number of hours in a week. I'm going to try my best. I got a little preacher in me. You'll learn a little bit about me as we go along, but I'm going to try my best not to get cliche on you and start using some of this phraseology that just, if you're like me, it loses me. Let's just talk. So that's the first thing we got to get out of the way. I've also got to see opportunity. All right, I can look at it as a 2-hour job. Let me just give you an example. I drive 1 hour almost exactly to work, 1 hour back every day. Leave here roughly at 7 o'clock, get home roughly at 7 o'clock in the evening. Once again, by choice. Now, I can look at that as a negative. I can look at that as 10 hours down the drain every week driving. Well, that depends. If I spend 10 hours a week listening to ESPN radio, if I spend 10 hours a week with my phone or my music on or whatever the case is while I'm driving, yeah, it's 10 hours wasted. But that's also 10 solitary hours I have every week to accomplish lots of different stuff. For me, that's good prayer time. That's good time to, driving, by the way, I know it takes some concentration, a lot of concentration, but that's also one of the times where I'm doing the least amount of stuff at one time. Yes, it is possible, we men can multitask. We just don't do it as well as you do. Nevertheless, it's probably the time where I'm doing the least amount of stuff, so I'm concentrating on one thing. At the same time, I could be praying. At the same time, I could be listening to some of these YouTube videos that are helping me to get better and helping me to understand, though you can't see it right now necessarily, what it means to shoot a good video and to edit properly and how to grow and so forth. So there's all kinds of opportunities to listen to things, to do things that are going to make me better, that are going to improve me in some way. Phone calls. Now I got a lot of people that I keep in touch with that I want to check on. That's great time, except for the dead spots. We're in the mountains. But except for those, it's a great time to catch up on some phone calls. And if I can shut up, I can make 3 or 4 phone calls in that time and check on some people and catch up with some people I ain't talked to in a long time. So there's lots of opportunities within that 10 hours in a week that, frankly, for a lot of that time, I've been back here working as a jeweler since 2008. In those 10 hours every week, there's so much I could be doing that I hadn't been doing. That drive was really a hindrance. Now it's becoming time for productivity. That's going to be part of this time management process, is not the big chunks. A lot of those I've got figured out. I'm still working on, I need to work on family time a whole lot better and carve out time for family to go places, to just be together at home and not be scattered. But I'm telling you areas where I need improvement. So let's just put it under that heading, areas where I need improvement. So I need some good quality family time, not just being in the same house together at the same time. The larger chunks of time I've got to figure out, it's the smaller areas where I waste the most time, where I feel like, well, I've only got 30 minutes. I'm even challenged with this at work. Boss, don't be watching this video. Cut it off now. Because you get to, let's say the workday ends at 5:30, you get to 5:15, you think, well, there's not much else I can do. I don't want to jump into this large job. But 15 minutes, replicate that 4 times, that's an hour of time. There goes the cliche. But the point being is that I can find much better ways to use smaller chunks and to leave them available for things to have that, to have these opportunities ready when I find extra bits of time to use them wisely. Now this part By the way, I gotta stand up because sitting down, you see I'm expressive. I move around probably a little too much, but I gotta stand in order to speak better. And that's one of the things in these first 3 videos. Some of y'all not seeing my personality. It's just starting to come out. It's kind of weird talking in an empty room to a camera, but I'm trying to let you see who I am. And it's a bit of a challenge because I'm used to talking to larger groups of people, or at least talking one-on-one with somebody. One of the challenges that comes along with this, I'm gonna have to work on simultaneously. And I'll get into this more a little later. This part here, the talking part, I'm really good at because I get really excited and I talk about some resolutions to the conflicts or to the challenges that I have, and I get to feeling better about it, and that eases the burden somewhat. So I walk out of here sort of feeling lighter and feel relieved, and then that's just kind of where it tanks. So right here, you say, wow, man, you're not even a starter. True. Actually, I am a good starter. I'm a horrible finisher.
Someone who starts something and doesn't finish something, that is a loser. Someone who starts something and always finishes it, that is a closer.
That's part of the reason why this channel is, because in order for this to work, in order for this to mean anything, for me, for you, is to finish. In order to do that, I'm gonna have to make some real plans, set some real goals. I'm a terrible goal setter. I don't know if that's just something that works for certain people or if that's something that everybody should do, but I gotta try it. I gotta do a lot of things now that make me uncomfortable, that are different, because look at me, man. My way stinks. Now, I'm not talking about looking like what everybody else says is good. This ain't it though, man. This is not what I planned for by 42 years old. This is not together. Not just my appearance. I'm talking in bigger terms than that. But where I am financially, where I am as far as this concept of time, as far as my health and my weight and so forth, and others. Those are really the 3 big ones right now. But going back to talking about being uncomfortable, I've got to start doing some things that are different, because I've been doing the same thing over and over, and and who knows if Einstein said it or what, but that's the definition of nuts. If you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting some different results. Cliche time. All right, there you go. You were warned. That said, it's going to be uncomfortable for me to plan. It's going to be uncomfortable for me to budget. And this is the part where I start making excuses as to why this won't work, and start throwing up the red flags as to how things could fall apart and how this might not go well. But see, that's part of this process of being real, of going on this journey, is failure. Look, Gordon Ramsay, love him or hate him, he talks to these people who have these fledgling kitchens or these restaurants, and he was talking to one guy just recently. I was just happened to be catching a bit of one. He was talking about how this guy is afraid of failure. And that's me. I am afraid to fail. I know businessmen who do very well because they seem to either not to lack that fear, or they just know how to overcome it and push forward. But part of the process is you watching me fall on my face. You seeing me mess up. But that's, again, part of the growth. And as we move forward, hopefully, the plan is to see improvement, to get better. All right, so let's start with one goal for me. One goal, at least for now, for this video, is to get up every morning at the same time and go to bed every night at the same time. Now, I'm probably not going to get the amount of sleep that a lot of you think I should have, and everybody differs on that. My wife loves sleep. I'm not a big fan of it, you can tell. Do you see this right here? That's not just old age. That's not sleeping in a good pattern. But at least, let's say 6 hours. I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about 11 to 5. So let's say 11 to 5, that's six straight hours of sleep every night. And I can at least bank on that. Here's how I'm gonna do it, because I need accountability. Somewhere in all this, we gotta get to accountability. That's what you need, that's what I need. I need somebody else to answer to. Some of you stink at accountability, right? Some of you don't want somebody else pointing out your weaknesses, don't want somebody else point. I'm not a fan of it. Don't get me wrong. I don't like somebody to put me in check. It makes me nervous too. But some of you have a real struggle with it. A lot of us, grown folks too, I'm not just talking about young people, have trouble just saying, yes, I messed up. Yes, I need somebody to hold me in check. Everybody needs it. So my accountability is this. I'm going to post. You've seen, hopefully you've seen Quest for Greatness on Instagram. You can go follow there. You can go check out. I'll be putting up some posts, just some random things. But the idea is, as soon as I get out of bed in the morning, what's going to help me to get up, because that's the fight, right? We want to lay back down. We want to give in, and you lose that first battle of the day. And so in order to get up, the first thing I'm going to do in order to keep myself accountable is to make an Instagram post immediately. And do the same thing at night just before I lay down to go to sleep. After everything else is done, not gonna lay back down and get on the phone or watch TV or whatever else. Put everything aside, go to sleep. So as soon as you know that, or as soon as you see that post, you know that's my bedtime. How interested you'll be in all this, I don't know. I really don't. But at least it'll be a real world way for me to be accountable, if only to a handful of people. They'll say, okay, he's doing it. You have to see progress. And I need that progress. All right, so that's the challenge for this video. All right, I have never tried to walk down some steps while videoing myself, so this could be funny. It is butt cold outside. Sorry, some of you don't like the word butt, so edit that out. 3, 2, 1, cold outside. And that's a wrap. Next week, this week, next video, the idea is to come back and be planned, prepared, and have concise points to make so this doesn't rattle all over the place. So come back for the next one. We'll talk a little bit more about this time management and planning and preparation. Peace out. If you're interested in going along on this quest and starting your own journey, and you want to see more of this, then make sure to bump that subscribe button and the notification bell, and let's do this.